Herreid Selby tonight, Matthew Robach on the pregame, trying to win their 12th versus, of course, no losses. The number one team has a 7-4 team coming in tonight. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, doing good. Thanks for having me.
Can you compare last night against Warner, and which is a much different game than Saturday night's Corn Palace? You were pretty intense on the sideline, trying to get after him.
I thought there was a little bit, maybe just a level of complacency, and we throw a lot of words around about being consistent and kind of giving it our all and making sure that we're ready for the postseason. And so I just felt like we weren't giving that consistent effort all night long, and I just don't want these guys kind of feeling like we've already accomplished what we wanted to accomplish this year, and just making sure that we're staying on each other. I think Coach Becker was talking to me the whole time throughout the game last night, and we were both on the same page. We got to make sure that we're staying hungry and staying humble and still coming to work every game and every practice.
And obviously that was a concern coming in after such a huge win, and you were fighting it all night. And I don't know if you, at the end of the night, did you sit down and say, "Okay, I got after you, but you met the challenge"?
We always talk about every win is difficult to come by, and you're always excited to get a win. But I just taking a look at the offensive rebounds that Warner was able to get, it was hard for me to really find that silver lining, and it wasn't anywhere like that I was upset about the score or anything like that. I was upset with our missed rotations and our missed defensive positioning, especially because that you just can't have. If you want to win a state tournament, you don't know who you're going to play. And with a target on your back and people knowing they have to elevate their game to beat you, you can't allow little things like giving up, 12 offensive rebounds to, that could be the win or the loss.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that we're taking care of that aspect of the game.
That was glaring last night, for
it
sure.
Was.
It really was. And I kind of look at your team as a father expecting more out of his kid because he knows he can do it. I mean,
right.
You have all this talent, and if they're not doing what you think they're capable of doing, then they're going to get, it a little bit. And that's, what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah.
It's one thing if you have kids out there that just don't have the talent, but they're giving it the all. You want to make sure these kids are getting the most out of what you have.
Yeah, we live by that try to win every single possession motto. And I truly believe that we have the kids and the depth to do it. And if you got to come sit out for a minute because, maybe you forgot about that and you're not necessarily willing to sacrifice every moment of the game, then we got to kind of get your head straightened out. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we did a little bit last night. We were shuffling, and, a kid came out right away because he maybe didn't do exactly what we wanted to. And so we're trying to correct some of those little mistakes because we're still not playing perfect basketball. You put up 87 points, but in our minds, which was great, we gave up 68. And we want to make sure that we're just correcting as much as we can correct. And I still, I'm hard on the kids, but I still just respect the fact that they at least allow me to coach them hard, even when maybe they want to just kind of coast and have a fun game, if you want to call it something like that. And so at some point we kind of just have to get rid of that. Yeah, let's have a fun summer league game mentality. And let's go get this thing done and make sure that we're giving it our all.
Well, we back at the arena, and you know what can happen there. It's not a Saturday game, but we'll see how they come out tonight. I know 7 games over 11 or 12 days. Boy, it's a really tough stretch you're in right now.
It is, and it's also very fun. And the reality is you only get 20 to 26 of these games. Mm-hmm. And so I don't really like to make the excuses of, you guys came off an emotional win or something like that. I feel like we play enough guys. I feel like there's guys that should want to play some more minutes. And, there's guys that didn't get as much minutes Saturday as they probably wanted to. And same with last night. And so I feel like we have the squad that can play 3 games back-to-back kind of like we have. And so I really just want to see us ready to go tonight, excited to play, whether it's the 7th or, the second game in 11 days. It really shouldn't matter. I feel like and I'm going to be looking for more from the bench tonight because
Okay.
I was hoping for more minutes from them last night, and I felt like Andrew Brennan, Jackson Isaacson, and Malik Weaker were they were kind of giving us really good minutes last night, and they were hard to take out the game. And so I'd like to see our bench really kind of push them tonight.
Gotcha. Herreid Selby has a good combination. Trey Hedrick capable, and the Begeman kid who's really big inside. He's going to play football at Northern, so there's a combination there that this club has.
Yeah, I watched the Falkton game a couple weeks ago, and they started out on Falkton 18-0, and so they're fully capable of putting the ball in the baskets. A little bit of that Warner style, they will really crash the boards hard, and so I'm actually very excited about that because that was one of the things that we're going to talk about and have talked about is we need to control. And we didn't control it against Wabe, and we controlled it against White River because we had 33 to 18 rebounds. But last night we got super frustrated.
What was the number last night, Dave?
I didn't get the number, unfortunately. But in my mind, we got out rebounded, even without what the stats are going to tell me.
Yeah.
In my mind, we got out rebounded, and so I want to make it corrected, and we just got to make sure that we kind of tighten that because we would hate to lose in the year because we didn't do our job on the defensive glass, and so that's going to be a focal point tonight. But yeah, like you said, Trey Hedrick, he's a great player. I actually coached him in the summer league a couple summers ago, so I know him and his dad very well, and they're a great family, and he's a good coach.
Look at a Region 1B. You got Christian above, and then Northwestern. Do you know what's going on there? They lost 3 in a row. I know Leola Frederick was one of them, and then Groton last night. I don't know. I was kind of shocked they lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, some of that, in my opinion, is just mid-January, people start to kind of figure out stuff like that, and it becomes harder to win games. I mean, we saw that with the competitiveness last night with Warner. They played us very well, and that's kind of what you get when you know a lot of these teams. But I give a lot of that credit to Leola Frederick. I really think that they're a lot better team than people realize. They have 3 good guards, and they work their butt off, and they board and they play defense. And so, Brock Fashion's doing a good job down there. And so I don't know if Northwestern's necessarily in a slump or anything like that. I think they just had a few couple tough games, and that's kind of the way it goes in our region.
The Titans definitely play hard. No doubt about that. They have Britton Heckla tonight in Frederick, and I want to just, how did Warner lose to Britton Heckla by just 1 the other night?
Yeah, that's funny. I was thinking about that after the game last night. And I think so much of that is just high school basketball. A kid, you can't really rely on 15, 16, 17-year-old kids to always be at the top of their game as much as we want them to be, as coaches and as fans and as parents. It's just, it's that hot or cold. You make your first shot. You miss your first shot.
Yeah.
You just never know how a game's going to go. And, I think really that just has so much to do with it. And so I mean, credit to Warner. They played a great game last night. And I was definitely surprised to see they only beat Britton Heckle by 1. But again, Britton Heckle's got a good coach. And so they definitely probably had a good game plan going into the game. And so I didn't get to see that one. But off the top of my head, I'm guessing it was kind of a combination of all those things.
Well, you're doing a good job. Keep them rolling, and let's get ready for Herreid Selby here in a minute. Good luck, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Got them both. Begeman, welcome back. 10-2, first points for Herreid Selby. A couple of free throws by Brendan Begeman, the senior. Clark again maneuvering. Connor Furman in the game. Feeds it right under to Joey Johnson for 2. Up and off the glass.
Nice pass inside.
Well, they're banging inside early, aren't they?
Did you who got the travel on the spin move? Did you?
Malik.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that sometime when we get a chance. That's a new rule in high school basketball in South Dakota.
Gill gets a bucket. Did you find anything more out about that?
A little bit. Just that they feel that South Dakota high school athletes do not have the ability to do a spin move and not travel.
Wow.
And
Joey with the bucket.
And so
and we've seen that.
They're going to call that. We saw that last night in a play, and it's been called inconsistent because there's some refs that, even though it's a rule, aren't going to call it. They just don't believe it.
Abe riding upstairs on Hannon. Saddle up, baby. And Abe gets, I assume, the foul there.
Yeah.
So they're either going to call it, Dave, or they're not going to call it. They got to all get on the same page here.
Well, and that's what needs to happen. If it's going to be the rule, it's going to be the rule, even if you don't like it. But
why South Dakota kids can't do it, but North Dakota capable of doing it or whatever? That doesn't make no sense.
Right.
No.
Right. That's the part that's frustrating, is that it's nowhere else in the country, just in South Dakota.
Silly rule. Here's Heddick for 3. First bucket by Trey. Cutting the lead in half, 14-7. Malik around a Joey screen, launches, hits.
Boom, what you can do, I can do better.
First 3 for both clubs there, back to back. Still a 10-point lead. Hannon up top, Weaker defends, gives it off to Trey Heddick as Connor chases him. Now to Grage, who's new to the ball game. Big man Begeman trying to work on Ethan Russell, has to stop his dribble. Almost picked up his pivot foot out to Trey Heddick, 14 shot clock. And he'll have to go around the defense of Connor Furman. Feeds it off baseline, Hannon, shot clock at 7. Heddick another 3, gonna be wide right, no good. Long rebound, Ethan Russell. Here come the Knights. In the corner, Malik. Driving and dishing. Ethan spinning, well, that was close to what we were talking about, but he didn't finish the move. Joey inside, right, Dave?
Right. If you keep your dribble, you're fine. And it's just that if you come out of that, you can't take that 1-2 step, because they're saying you took your steps in that spin move. Thus, you have to establish a pivot foot coming out of that spin move. If I'm understanding it right, so you can't come out of a spin move and then go bang bang with your feet or a Euro step. That's traveling. They're saying that you use those 2 steps in that spin move. So keeping the dribble, like Russell did there, he spun with the dribble. He could have kept right on going. That's no problem. But if he would have stopped his dribble in that spin move, then that's where the call is going to come.
Okay, we'll see if it happens tonight.
We saw it twice last night. And
we did.
In fact, I kind of chided the ref that the ref right by it didn't call it, because it wasn't a travel, and the guy across the court, and he's just enforcing the rule like he's been told to do.
Bucket by Herreid Selby. Ethan right back at you for 2 on the baseline, one-hand runner.
Wow, what a nice turnaround. Nice soft touch.
5 in the books. Joey Johnson has 6 of the 21.
Knights jumping into this half-court trap that they've been implementing this last 10 days.
Has been very effective as they work that trap against Heddick. He's got a 3. Begeman has yet to score, but a free throw rises inside and partially altered by Joey. Picked up by Malik. 21-9, Aberdeen Christian a minute to go here in the first. Malik high-stepping, no looking. Nice. Joey underneath, he's got almost 8. Got his own rebound, muscles up, puts it up, spins out. Got another rebound, put it up. He will not be denied. Joey Johnson, a moose inside here at the Civic Arena. Padding the stats with the rebounds, Dave.
You bet. That's how you get 24 in a game, Rob.
That is correct.
Told you that story.
Yes. 8 points and 3 or 4 rebounds here for Joey.
That was a really nice pass by Malik. It's too bad he didn't get an assist out of that, but it's also just as exciting to see Joey finish it in a different way.
Oh, offensive lineman really going to work. Wow. He's just a strong kid, Dave. He is really husky. 21 seconds in the quarter, and they'll play it for one with a commanding 23-9 lead, and Johnson off the bench with 8 here in the quarter.
You know, you use the word husky. In my day, husky meant you were a little bit fat.
Yeah.
No, he's not fat.
He's not.
He's just thick.
He's thick. That's a better way to say it. Yeah. What was the call here?
I did not catch it.
Going to go back. No. What are we doing? Going back to Herreid Selby. 5-second count maybe?
Looks
No,
like
a push.
A foul.
A push. It was on.
Looks like Russell got a foul.
Yep. Ethan picked up his first. Did not see that. So they'll have a chance here. I'm sure the ball will stay in the hands of Herreid. He drives with 4.
Nice pass by Herreid.
Into a triple, back out. Begeman got it.
Bingo.
First bucket. So Brendan Begeman sticks one in at the end of the quarter. 23-11, second quarter coming up from Hub City Radio, streaming live. Rob and Dave at the arena, second quarter. Matthew should be happier with that first quarter than he was last night, huh?
Yeah, you bet. Knights executed pretty well.
Hitting the glass. Inside Begeman. Fouled. Connor Furman and 1.
You know, I don't know if that was a defensive breakdown or just a little better offensive play with a really nice seal and pass over the top. Sometimes that just happens.
3 of 3 from the line for Brendan Begeman.
5 straight for him, too.
Yep. Got it down to 9. Full court press applied. Jackson over to Caden,
over the
back
top.
door. Yep. Oh my. Oh my.
All the way over the top.
Furman. The guy hurdled him, Dave.
Begeman totally jumped over him on his pump fake. Connor kept his composure and gathered himself and went up and scored. Really a nice pass over the top. That's how you want to break half-court pressure.
Track season is another 3-4 months away. My goodness. That was something. The inside friend back out on top, swinging around Herreid. He's only got a couple of threes launched here tonight. Shot clock rolling again here, under 10 seconds to go in this possession. Herreid up top. Jackson locks in now, 5 and 4. Have to be some isolation here for Herreid.
Yeah,
no.
Nice defense. Cater came out and hedged, forced him into a shot clock violation. Really nice defense by Caden Clark.
They saw one last night. We saw one at the Corn Palace, and again here tonight. Shot clock violation.
They're calling for a pick out there so he could get a little isolation move, and just like that, he's doubled and taken away and nothing.
So the score stays 25-14. Early second quarter. Jackson has a wide open 3. Nothing but
Bingo.
net. Wow. I mean, how could you not take that?
That was a nice shot. You know, back to Caden's play. Caden can do that. He can guard anybody on the floor. Even though he's guarding the post, he can step up and take that ball handler for a little bit and slow him down. Nice play.
Pressure by the Knights, broken by Herreid Selby. Begeman feeds it on the baseline to Gill. He'll try a 3 and got it. 5 for Trevor Gill and his first 3. 2 threes for Herreid Selby and 2 threes here for the Knights. 11-point lead. 9, pardon me. 28-17, so the Wolverines hanging around here at the arena. Andrew looking for a screen from Clark, stops his bounce, now in a little trouble, and gave it away. Brendan Begeman steps in, and on the run, he goes right by Andrew Brennan, throws it up for 2. He's got 9 points and a timeout by Matthew Rohrbach. 5:50 to go here in the second. We'll pause as well. Christian timeout, leading 28-19, streaming live on Hub City Radio. Back to action. Abe Holzer checking in with the ball up top. Furman on the wing. Ethan Caden and Malik Stay. Abe getting good minutes last night, and Warner 5 points, 4 or 5 points, couple of buckets. And now Malik swings it down to Caden Clark. Back door open is Connor Furman. He'll fire for three, and air ball, a nickel ball rather, swishes home.
Connor hasn't made a three.
That's his first
very
three.
often. This year, I mean, he's had some open looks, and that one looked like he knows what he's doing.
It did. It just had no spin on it.
Yeah.
It was just a knuckleball. Heddick working hard for a shot. Feeds in the corner, Hannon. 31-19. This pace would favor, again, 80 points here for the Knights, would it not?
It would, and you know, Herreid Selby struggled scoring early on, and they've been on a nice little run offensively here.
Air ball taken back by Weaker. Under 5 to go in the second. Abe, baseline swing it opposite baseline. Ethan hesitates, finds a better spot, shoots, no good. Rebound volleyballed and reach in, I think, on
Connor Furman.
Is it Furman? Yeah, over the back.
Well, you kind of wonder, you know, we're at the point where if you're not a top 5 team, we think the Knights are going to beat you by 30 and just show up here. And with that #1 rating,
oh boy,
I mean that puts energy in the pocket of everybody else, and
absolutely.
And, if you're not having your best night, it's going to be a fight against a group of athletes, and this is a group of athletes.
It is. Timeout quickly here on Hub City Radio. No music. I think we can stay right here for the quick timeout. No, we can't. We'll pause and be right back. Timeout. Joey Johnson comes back in. Abe Holzer stays. Jackson, Malik, and Andrew on the court. Heddick between circles being hounded. Has to give it off. Let's see if they work it into Begum, and they try. He loses it and saves it off the leg of Abe Holzer to stay with Herreid Selby.
You know, Christian doing what they've been doing lately, changing 2-3 guys at a time, and it really doesn't affect their style of play and what they can do.
Vetter off the bench. Can't get it to go on the inbounds. Jackson brings it the other way strong. And knocked away. Cannot be saved by Begum and stays with Christian underneath. So,
you know, there's kids that can play 32 minutes and it just doesn't matter. And there's some kids that it doesn't matter your shape. They just need a little break once in a while. It's just the way they're built. And Christian has some kids like that. They got both of that. And so the fact that those guys that need just a little blow here once in a while, they can give it to them. And the guys that don't need one, you don't have to give them one.
Holzer tries in the corner. Off the heel, no. Begeman upstairs brings it down. So we come the other way. 4 minutes to go, and the Wolverines need something here on this possession. Heddick driving and dishing to Begeman. He'll try on Jackson, take him to the hole and shoots over and hits.
Nice looking jump shot. Elevated and got it up over Jackson, who's a good defender.
First man to double digits. He has 11. Lead is now 10. And an errant pass by Weaker intended for Jackson. What happened there?
I don't know. I think he thought Jackson was cutting, and Jackson did not cut right to where it was. Not totally sure if Herreid Selby's playing a little junk defense or if it's just a straight up zone. But it kind of frustrating the Knights in that half court set where they have time to let things develop.
3:30 to go in the second quarter. Herreid trying to get it into single digits here on this possession. Begeman has 11. He's posting with Clark, defending. Now he comes out, given the three, won't take it, gives to Herreid. Tough three, stepping back long. No, rebounded by Malik Weaker.
And how do you beat a zone? Don't let him get in it.
Right.
Knights quickly up in it, get a good shot right away.
Way downtown. Weaker 4 feet beyond the arc, and he cashes in again. He's got 2 threes and 8 points. Trapping in the corner, almost a steal, and a bump by Caden Clark on Cole Zabel, a junior 5'9" off the bench.
The Knights executing that half-court trap kind of the way you'd want. Everybody moving up just a little slow on that rotation. Caden did the right thing, just a hair slow.
34-21. Aberdeen Christian, 3 minutes to go in the second. Herreid has been held to a 3. Begeman getting 11. Baseline drive, Gill. Caden takes it away, and off and running are the Knights. Malik throttles it back. Wants to set it up here in the half court. Swings to Isaacson left side. Back up to Malik, wide open 3. Head faking. Brings it over across the court again. Back up to Ethan. He wants to drive the paint. He does, and he just slipped. And the ball out of bounds to Herreid Selby. That's it.
Straight up man that time, and Knights kind of got what they were looking for, but didn't execute it.
Region 6B, Lower Brule is 1. Highmore Herald 2, Ipswich 3, and this Herreid Selby club winning 4 in a row, number 4 right now. No look pass intended for Friend from Herreid, out of bounds, can't handle it, back to the Knights.
If I'm Herreid Selby, I'm tickled I'm in the top 4, but I kind of want to be top 3. I don't want to play Lower Brule.
Oh boy, no.
To advance out of that region.
You don't want to be a 4 seed, right? You'll get Lower Brule then.
They look scary to me. Even though DeSmit beat them the other night, they look scary to me.
Ellis, offensive
nice
putback.
Rebound, Ellis.
Malik,
up strong.
Wow, missed the 3. Ellis getting in for the first time, and he gets a putback on an offensive rebound. 15 the lead, and Herreid Selby hasn't scored for a while, Dave.
They haven't. They were executing so well. And
see what they come up here on this possession. Begeman's been the man. He'll drive into a triple. What an athletic move to go right down the hole and through the jungle and laid in off the glass. Now 13 for Begeman. Back the other way, collision on the baseline.
in a one-on-one, straight-up chest-to-chest action, Begeman's going to win that.
He's going to win.
It doesn't matter if you're 8 inches taller than him, 5 inches taller like Ethan Russell is. He's going to win that in a bang-bang fight.
Hey, we're up off the court side. You know what? We're up here a little bit. He is solid.
Oh, they had that out-of-bounds pants play set up really nice. Got deflected away.
He'll be padded up in the fall, in the summer, I suppose, getting ready for the fall here for the Wolves.
He is going to Northern for sure.
That's the last I'm pretty sure of that. And I thought I read that. I can pull that up at halftime and verify.
I think you're right. In my head, it seems like I saw he was going to take a preferred walk-on at SDSU. But
it's possible.
I don't know. I would never repeat that as truth.
I'll check at halftime on my archives. Headaches 3 is no good. And saved. Nope, out of bounds. Goes back to Christian here. I have it here in my stuff somewhere. Yeah, we'll look for it later. Here's Weaker trying a 3. Looks good.
You know, I love that shot and play. They're looking at Coach. Coach is saying, I want a 2-for-1. Let's get 2 possessions here. So let's shoot. Let's shoot quick in the possession. Malik recognizes that, knocks down the 3, and the Knights are going to end up with the last shot here no matter what happens.
3 straight threes by Malik, opening this game up now, 39-23. There goes Begeman to work down inside, and he keeps adding up points in the paint. So here's the final possession you talked about on the 2-for-1. 39-25 the score. Me and Dave will talk about these B teams at halftime. Stay with us. We'll take a short break and be back. Talk about where we're at in the midst of the season and who we think will be at the tournament in March and who may have a chance or may not. It's coming up.
Nice
Russell,
find.
deep three, yes.
So many times Malik Weaker's the guy who's going to take that last shot, and teams know that, and they're on him, and he set Russell up nice for a three and banged it down.
42-25, we're at half. Me and Dave will be right back as we pause from HubCityRadio.com. We're at halftime here at the Civic Arena. Herreid Selby, and second half coming up. We have time to chat a little bit as we're in the heat of the season, right in the middle of it, where you kind of feel who's good and who has a chance and who maybe doesn't have a chance. Dave, do you want to talk about the locks going to the State B? Is it too early to even talk about that? I know there's locks, teams that you can just pencil in.
You'd assume there's some locks, but that's why you play the games. You just never know. I think we can pick a list of locks and then say that I just bet one of them gets bumped.
Yeah.
But, there's that potential. But man, DeSmit in their region, that's interesting because there's 4 really good teams right now.
That I have penciled out a little bit. I'm glad you brought that up first. Region 2. Listen to this. Obviously, there's DeSmit, right?
Yep.
Castlewood loses to DeSmit. They're out of that region by 20 last night. You have Wolsey, Wessington. You have James Valley Christian. I saw James Valley Christian against Ipswich Saturday before the Corn Palace. Decent team. I don't know if they're an upper echelon team. However, Wolsey, Wessington, and James Valley Christian and Castlewood are 3 solid teams. Wolsey loses to James Valley Christian, and Castlewood loses to DeSmit. So anything can happen out of that thing. I think DeSmit's a lock, but you got 3 teams there that they're all who knows, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would assume DeSmit is a lock. They'll end up being that number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And, the other 3, who knows? But with Coach Roush at Castlewood, I was gambling. I'd put my eggs in his basket any day.
Well, he's got the 7-footer, right?
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that they do. They have, they had that state tournament team they had last year, but maybe they do. I guess I haven't looked at their roster that much. I know they had an injury in football where they lost one of their better players, but they've got a quality team, and we kind of have to see how that shakes out. But I know I wasn't expecting James Valley to do what they're doing, and who knows? Maybe they're interesting to see some of that interplay in that region yet this year. I know DeSmit plays Wolsey, and we'll see what happens there. But DeSmit definitely in that region, and I guess it's who knows, which is I guess what you'd expect anywhere.
The Castlewood kid, I say 7 foot. I just think he's taller than he is when I saw him. He's still very young. He's actually 6'8", Lowy, Laue.
Okay.
He's young. He's a sophomore, but he's 6'8". So they have that length inside. But I don't know. They're maybe I have a question mark on Castlewood after the DeSmit drubbing last night. And I guess there will be a little more clarity, Dave, when we see Wolsey has DeSmit coming up here early February. I'll be curious to see what happens then.
And just one more thing to tag on to Paul Roush, and the history I had with coaching against him. Paul he's willing to take a beating and show you his secret move when it comes to when it really matters in the postseason. He plays most of these regular season games straight up.
Yep.
Knowing full well that he can make an adjustment that might really change the game, but is winning that game middle of the season as important as winning the one at the end, and he is a crafty coach. So that was my first thought last night when I saw they got beat by 20. There might be some other things going on there that he's willing to do something. And I felt the same thing in the Christian game with White River. Because, I felt like Eldon Marshall didn't make a lot of moves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once that went south on them 20 points, it happened so fast.
I'm not going to show any more cards.
I say, you know what, I might be teaching my team something here that we could have made some moves and done some things differently down the end that might not have mattered. But, sometimes things like that play into practice too. And Paul Roush he's as good as there is with that kind of a thing.
And then you take it one layer further out of that region, too. We're talking about James Valley Christian. Wolsey Wessington got drilled by the team I saw Ipswich play with the other night. 74-59, Wolsey loses. Yep. So is James Valley Christian maybe the team, if they get two out of there, that's the team rather than Castlewood or Wolsey? I'm going to say maybe at this point.
Yeah, it sure could be. That's definitely Castlewood took a step back this last week where we can't look at them as a lock anymore. But I would still roll the dice on Castlewood. I think when it comes down to it, as being one of those top 5 or 6 teams.
3 very interesting teams we're talking about there. Now let's go back to the locks, if we will. Aberdeen Christian. I'm going to give you 4. Christian, White River, DeSmet, Lower Brule, all locks. And then, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
The probabilities, I'm going to go with 2 probabilities. I'm going to say Faith is coming out of Region 8. So that's 5 teams. And Ethan, now into the charts, only losing 1 game. They're rated 5th now. Apparently, this is a very good club. I don't know nothing about them. I'm going to go that on a probability. That leaves us with 2 more slots, and maybe it's a Wolsey, maybe it's a Castlewood, maybe it's a James Valley Christian, a Harding County, an Ipswich. There's a lot of other teams. Anybody else out there that maybe's on the radar?
Man, I not that's on my radar. I think I said this to you. We talked about this a long time ago. I said I think there's 3 tiers in Class B. There's a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3. And on any given night, those top tier 2 teams might bump out a 1. Just maybe if everything happens. And I think there's a bunch of top 2 tier teams. Several in the Lake Region Conference, Ipswich being one of them. That could do that on any given night. But the way the system is set up now with seed points the way they are, you sure don't want to be that 16, 15, 14, 13 that's going to play one of those 4 locks.
Absolutely not.
Have a little letdown during the year that puts you into that boat where you're good enough to be in the state tournament, but you got to go beat Aberdeen Christian or White River, DeSmet, or Lower Brule. Them 4, them are the heavyweights right now.
Now, I'm going to see Highmore Herald Saturday night on the road. Ipswich will go over there. They're 9-2. Ipswich, very capable, a lot of players. That'll answer some more questions. And then let's talk about Northwestern. When they played, some of those kids were over there at the Ipswich game the other night. And when we played them, I talked to a few of them on the way out. I said, you going to run the table? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. They've lost 3 in a row now, so maybe now we have a big question mark on Northwestern. Even though they have high seed points, 3 losses in a row, I'm not so sure about that anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know much about them. I wonder if something's going on with maybe some injuries or sickness or just the teams they played were good teams. And just don't know. Sometimes that can happen. You could have flu running through the school and that slows you down on one of those nights on a game you should win, and then you go and play an A school, and you're going to have a tough one, and it just goes south. And so I don't know about them. I like the talent that they have. I think they're very capable, especially in this Region 1. I would put them in that number 2 spot, unless something really stays south with them.
Okay, we got to wrap it up here. I'm gonna say we got 4 locks, 2 probables, and I'm gonna give you a couple of more names to chew on. There's Howard, there's Phillip, and there's Canastota and Del Rapids, St. Mary's. Those 4 as well. So let's keep an eye on it as we get ready for the second half here. Always interesting to talk about, and we'll come back here Herreid, Selby, and Christian ready for the second half in moments. Stay tuned. Back at the arena, Rob Waltman, Dave Palmer, and ready for third quarter action, where it's Aberdeen Christian leading Herreid Selby 42-25. Brendan Begeman has 15 first half points.
And he didn't score for quite a while. He really had a nice run there, second quarter.
Malik's errant shot goes to Heddick up top. Begeman down the lane again, coming hard at Caden Clark, puts it up, and it falls in, 17. All right. It's my job to know these things. For some reason, I swear Brendan Begeman I read was going to Northern. He's not. My apologies. SDSU, I knew that. South Dakota State, Dave, you were right.
I was.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm right all the time. And,
You
and
were
my wife disagrees with me once in a while.
Here he comes again, 19 and counting for Begeman. 49 touchdowns, 255 yards per game this year. All-time leading rusher in South Dakota, 6,807 yards, and put up 2,997 this year rushing.
Oh.
Putback Jackson, 2,997 rushing. That's a single season mark. Wow.
That three ball was so down deep, and it popped out. But
Yeah.
Jackson Isaac cleaned it up. Herreid Selby playing a 1-2-2 zone. Trying to throw something different here coming out of halftime at the Knights, and up until that Isaacson bucket, it's been working.
Jackson for three, no, and Heddick's three was just about down the other way as well. Brennan cleans up the mess.
You know what one of the disadvantages of that zone is? It's hard to rebound out of. And look what's happened. If you get a good shot, you got a great chance of beating your man one-on-one for that board. And back-to-back rebounds for buckets for the Knights.
19 for Begeman driving on Russell. Heddick's shot just like the Aberdeen Christian shot almost went down. Now baseline Hannon, he'll try a three. Nope, Caden Clark.
And here we go, we're gonna run.
Oh, outlet too strong, saved and into the hands of Hannon. Well, they have a few minutes here to make a run at him, don't they? Hannon drives and Malik takes away a loose ball. But the Christian Knights, I don't know if you can ever make a run on them here in the second half. Nobody has. Here's Caden Clark driving.
Nice find
Jackson
inside. Another assist by Caden Clark. Wow. There's Jackson just working around the rim. Sets himself up for a nice pass by Clark.
Clark working on numbers again tonight. So the lead is 19. Early here in the third. Hannon works on Brennan. Up top, Jackson has the steal. Chasing is Hannon, and Jackson gets another bucket. So he and Begeman maybe will room together or something, huh? They're both heading to SDSU.
Both good athletes playing a different spot.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. See how their future comes.
They'll get to know each other very well here this fall. Hannon tries another three, way errant, and Malik right there for the loose ball. 50-29 now here for Christian. They've just blown it out again here in the third quarter and trying to keep their foot on the gas. Brennan.
There he is inside.
Bouncing to Jackson. Got it.
Nice ball movement. Just broke that zone down. Got the shot you want. Nice ball movement.
And the Knights are rolling. 52-29. Timeout on the court here on Hub City Radio. Streaming live. third quarter run, a 10-4, Dave, and the Knights on the gas pedal.
They are. You know, that first two possessions were kind of shaky. Got a couple rebounds, and then they just have figured out what they're going to do against that 1-2-2.
Begeman getting his points, but Herreid not tonight. And out of bounds, Begeman saves it off the knee of Russell. Or is it a foul? No, I think
it's just out of bounds.
Yeah, Herreid will toss in. Into Begeman. Russell locks him up, back out to Hannon. He's missed 2 threes. Now in the corner comes Herreid. Connor defends him, can't get a shot away, and they swing it all the way around to Grage off the bench. There's Furman on Trey Herreid. He's not allowing much there. Deep three, Hannon. His third in a row, finally knocks one in. His first point, his first bucket here tonight. Cuts the lead to 20.
That was a nice looking shot. I'm surprised that's his first hoop.
Open up top was Malik. The pass intended for Malik. I thought it was into the hands of Ellis as he picked it off across the lane. And a reach in.
You know, a little different lineup here. Have to see what the coming out of that timeout. You know, Jackson, you know, we talked about guys need a break once in a while. Jackson exerts so much energy.
He does.
He's one of those guys that he just needs a little break once in a while, and it's nice the Knights can give him one.
Mid-range by Russell, too short. And Herreid on the move, takes it strong over Joey and gets the foul. Free throws coming. He needs to get to the line to see something to fall, I think.
What does he have for points tonight?
Just a bucket of 3.
Just one bucket.
Yeah. I'm assuming I don't have the numbers. I would guess he's a 16, 18, 19-point guy tonight.
Begeman is just, he's the guy the Knights have not been able to have an answer to.
Yep. Nobody did on the football field, too, as we look at all those numbers, huh? Wow.
Yep.
1 of 2. And the rebound, Connor Furman. Jackson had it knocked away by Herreid. He wants to push it. Nobody there for the outlet, and he'll bring it down with Jackson defending, backpedaling. Brings it off to Begeman. No, they'll switch up top now. Hannon just hit that 3 over to Begeman. Driving inside, errant shot by Zabel. Picked back up on the offensive rebound. Reset the shot clock. Back into Begeman. Jackson defending. Good matchup there. Begeman just lost the basketball. Picked up by Connor Furman. Just went through his legs and underneath. And Christian Knights have it again with a 52-33 lead here in the third quarter. Abe Holscher back in, has it right side. Swings it over to Brennan, knocked away, out of bounds by Zabel. Stays with Christian.
You know, something the Knights can do that very few teams can do is they can switch continually. You know, a couple of guys got to get a switch back, but their bigs can guard small guys, and they got those inside guys that can switch.
Joey having a night inside. Whistle before he got the shot away. Johnson has 8, all in the first half, non-shooting. Foul is on Trevor Gill, his first night basketball underneath.
There he is.
Easy 1 for Joey, 10. He's in double digits here tonight. And they've all been right there.
Yeah. Really broken that zone down.
And another 3 won't go. That was Trevor Gill, pardon me, and out of bounds it goes. Last touched by Herreid Selby.
You know, you can break a zone down with some zone breakers that make you come out with 3s, or you can break it down with really nice execution in the passing game, and that's the Knights have done both, but they really broke them down in the passing game.
Joey and Connor now inside. Here for Aberdeen Christian. Brennan. Skip pass to Jackson. Doubled in the corner. The cutter comes through. It's Furman, and the bad pass is picked up by Gill. And a whistle and a foul on Aberdeen Christian. It's going to be on Joey, right?
Yep. His third. You know, I don't think that bothers Coach Rohrbach, Joey's foul situation. He's in there to play, and if you're, you know, he probably gets 12 to 18 minutes and plenty of time to use your 5 up.
Herreid for 3.
Bingo.
Second one. 54-36 with 2 minutes to go in the third. Brennan dancing with Herreid, throws it over to Holscher. Back over to Brennan. And the zone. Now skip pass. Holscher, no shot there. Back up to Brennan. He'll take it straight away from 23. Won't go. Long rebound out of bounds. I think it was touched by Jackson. It was. Or was it? No, they overruled it. It's going to stay with the Knights.
You know, the Knights' best shooters, Russell and Malik, are sitting on the bench. This is their 7th game in 12 days. We've talked about that. You just can't play every minute of 7 games.
Yeah. Big pass, big bounce inside. Furman can't finish. Joey is fouled and goes back to the free throw line.
Joey's really having a nice game inside here.
He is. Yeah, he's, wow. Furman and Joey off the bench is a nightmare for teams. It really is. First free throw, got it.
You know, nice looking shot by Joey at the free throw line. Nice rotation, nice position of the ball. Really, you can tell he's working on his free throws.
Very nice form, makes a couple. 12 points for Joey Johnson tonight.
You know, a big man who bangs inside is going to shoot some free throws. You got to be a good free throw shooter. He's obviously next year going to get a lot of opportunity.
I would say, absolutely. 6'4", and probably come back a little bigger, won't he?
I would hope so.
In terms of weight-wise, he's just thick. He is just thick like Begeman. And here's Herreid Selby with a minute 18. Hedrick going for 2 in a row. That one won't go. Rebound inside, taken away by Brennan. As Russell ahead, deep in the right corner, tried to cross over, throws it back to Brennan. Traveling is the call.
That's twice now Russell's slipped down. I think he needs to go back to those shoes he had on Saturday.
Malik had those, what were they? What color
they
were
were? Kind of a lime green, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah. And last night he had a different pair on. I think this is a different pair here tonight. Hedrick up top. 55 seconds to go in the third. Herreid Selby still playing very hard, Dave.
They are.
Begeman pounding into a double team. Throws it up, won't go. And inside, Ellis bodying up with Friend, and the whistle blows. Who's getting this one?
I think Ellis got a rebound or a push foul there. Right?
And,
yeah,
yep,
15.
Mm-hmm. So,
you know, in our day, you got one pair of shoes.
yeah, one pair. That's
and
right.
they made it through track season
That's
if you
right.
weren't a runner.
I know. Begeman inside, can't get it to go as he hangs underneath. Outlet quickly to Brennan.
They were made out of steel too.
Here's Brennan's shot, blocked by Hedrick, out of bounds. I thought about that just the other day when Luke said, I think Malik has he must sign him, put him away, and that's it. And I said, you know, we had one pair.
I would sign those shoes Saturday too and hang on to those.
Man. Absolutely. Final shot here for the Knights, 56-36, a 20-point lead. Leading 42-25 at halftime. So 24-11 outscoring Herreid Selby in this third quarter. Something like that. Brennan. Caden Clark casting for 3 at the horn. Still 6 seconds to go. Begeman has a chance. 3-on-2 coming. Begeman coming hot down the lane and blocked out of bounds by Ethan Russell.
Boy, not much you can do. It doesn't matter how much muscle mass you have. When the guy's 6'7" and long arms, he's going to block that shot all day long.
Timeout quickly. We have 0.4 seconds left in the third. It'll be Herreid Selby basketball when we come back here on Hub City Radio. Final shot here of the third quarter.
You know, and Coach Rohrbach is right over talking to the refs, reminding them that you can't catch and shoot in .4. So it's got to be something different.
Headed, fires, short, end of three. And 56-30, 6:20 lead. Another break, and the fourth quarter upcoming here from Hub City Radio. Fourth quarter, here we go in the Civic Arena. The Knights going to be 12-0 after they finish this deal up. Block underneath Brennan. So scores around the area. Leola Frederick up big over Britton Hecla in Frederick, 41-22. Faith has defeated Potter County 66-48, and Castlewood coming alive after dropping out of the polls out on top over Coleman Egan, 55-16 tonight.
You know, it sounds like Aberdeen Central's in an overtime with Pierre here tonight, too. Another game in town is Roncalli playing Hamlin. The other night you asked me about phenoms.
Yep.
And I thought of one after we talked about that a potential one is Coach Neuendorf who, at Hamlin now, who used to be Roncalli's coach. His son, Easton, I believe his name is a sophomore, and he is a really good player, scoring 20 a lot of nights.
As a sophomore?
Just as a sophomore in Class A.
No,
nice
look.
pass inside by Andrew Brennan. Just a sweet little drive pass. Shovel pass into Ethan Russell for 2.
7 for Russell. Begeman charging hard again. He has 19, overshot that one. And Jackson with a long outlet ahead to Malik. Look at that. 3 taps, throws it back to Caden Clark, gets it in the corner, and a long range 3 good.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not. No. Did you see that?
I did, and Caden Clark's going to pick up the easiest assist you're ever going to get.
Oh, my.
Hitting a 3-point shooter in the corner.
He was just tapping that ball around, then got position, knocked in the 3. His 4th 3 tonight. Friend inside, or is that Gill? Trevor Gill fouled. So there is, why is that not coming up on my schedule? Aberdeen Roncalli's in action tonight too?
Yes, Roncalli's playing Hamlin. Coach Neuendorf, left Roncalli, went to Mitchell for a while, and then jumped into Hamlin here.
Oh, I'm looking at the B schedule, that's why.
And, under A. They're good. Hamlin's a good team.
Really good.
They're good.
We were at James Valley Christian, by the way, when we talk about there's some phenoms out there like Seiler and Gary and these guys, Weaker, coming up that we can watch over the next several years. There's a kid in James Valley Christian, another 3 by Weaker. No, he's a freshman. Dax Franzen is his name. And here's a loose ball stuck in by Jackson with 13. This kid is a freshman, and he's got game, so watch him. Getting some minutes. Still attacking our Harriet Selby. Weak side bucket. Friend, his first tonight, to keep it at 21. 6 minutes to go. 8 players have scored here for the Knights. Driving,
nice
dishing,
pass.
Russell. Another bucket and a foul. Count it. And 1. 9 for Ethan. 14 for Malik. 13 for Jackson Isaacson. Joey has 12.
Harriet Selby's hung around and done a good job of competing, but just seems like the Knights can score when they want. They get things when they want it, how they want it.
This is a pretty good Herreid Selby team, wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
4 in a row coming in.
I knew they had athletes because of football.
Begeman hopping inside, reverses, blocked out of bounds cleanly by Russell. And he is attacking yet, 19 points. Stays underneath, Hedrick to throw in. Into Begeman, back to Hedrick, wanting a three, back to Begeman. Shooting over Jackson, this one won't fall. Isaacson another rebound off to Brennan. Andrew keeps driving, open is weaker. Will he try the left corner? No, he'll drive and dish. Down the lane, Jackson won't go. Got a second effort and a foul underneath.
Jackson does such a nice job of cutting to the rim and makes that left-handed shot look so easy. That one didn't go in, but Malik found him.
I asked him post-game one the other night, what's your longest field goal? He's going to SDSU to kick. He made one from 49, I think he told me. And he said, I attempted one from 60.
That was about a yard short.
About a yard short.
Yeah, I think everybody in the crowd thought it was good that night, and it just.
Can you imagine that?
That's incredible. You know, and the thing about it is that he's playing quarterback. He's playing every down. You know, these good kickers, they sit around practicing, waiting for their shot, and their legs all warmed up. You know, he goes from running for his life or you know, running the ball to, okay, you got to kick right now.
Let's try a 60-yarder. You got it in you? Oh, yeah. A yard short, they say. Wow. Well, that's why he's going to SDSU. That'll be fun to watch. There's a lot of things to watch on the next level as these kids depart, right?
For sure.
SDSU and Jamestown. And, yeah, it's interesting to see where they go, follow them. 67-42 our score here at the arena. Inside, jump shot good by Friend.
Nice pull-up jump shot.
We're keeping him in the 40s, Dave, as we mentioned last night. 41 in Warner. Abe Holscher trying for three. No. And the rebound ran down by Furman. Tapped out to Brennan. Feeds to Furman.
This Herreid Selby team is going to get more than 40. They're already 44 with 5 minutes left. They're continuing to score with the Knights, but can't close that gap inside 20.
Yeah, Connor gets the bucket there. 44 is what Herreid Selby's stuck at now. But you're right, probably heading for 50 plus. Hedrick in the set. Wants a screen, stops his dribble. Feeds to Gill in the corner. Into Friend, back to Gill. 4-3, baseline, in and out, won't fall. Rebound by Joey. Well, after this, we will have, I always say, I think on the road, we won't get comments post-game, but here at home we will. So Matthew should be up after this one. Get inside of his head, if he's got a voice left.
Yeah, Andrew Brennan is so quick with the basketball. He is just fun to watch.
I know. He's one of my favorite guys to watch on the court. He really is.
He's just getting better. He's getting better.
Look at that. Drive, dribble, into the action. Had it slapped away. Now Hedrick the other way. Hesitates, drives down the lane. Can't get it to go. And the rebound by Ellis. Out to Abe, ahead to Brennan. He's going to take it all the way and get fouled. 2 shots.
You know, we got some good football players out here tonight. Andrew Brennan was a very good football player. He's just a quick little jitterbug. Nice return man. Had a good football career at Roncalli.
First one, no. So we wind it down, a week off for the Knights. A week from tonight, we're here with North Central. Begeman checking out. Might be it for him. He has 19. Last I counted, 1 of 2.
He single-handedly kept them in at the first half and kept it competitive.
Sure did. 70-44 with the free throw. White River number 2, DeSmit number 3, Lower Brule 4, Ethan into the pull at 5, Castlewood dropping out but winning tonight. And the Knights are unanimously number 1, going to be 12-0 and a week off.
Much deserved.
Traveling double dribble.
I mean, everybody had to go through it with the weather with these makeup games, but what an amazing stretch. That's something I want to talk to Coach Rohrbach about after in the post game. conversation is just what were these last 12 days like?
Brendan Stapp is in, junior. JV won earlier over Herreid Selby. It was a dogfight, that one. As Ellis got minutes on the junior varsity. He has it right side. Holscher has a really good look. That looks good from here short. And the rebound by Herreid Selby. And a whistle. Joey's back in there in the mix of it. Now Ipswich, I'll be back over in Ipswich Friday night, and I'll see these guys. Wow. That's going to be a very good basketball game.
You know, who do you think will guard Begeman from Ipswich? As solid as he is.
It's a good question.
Be interesting to see who takes him and what they do with him. Because Ipswich has some size.
They do.
Like Gaditz kid's a nice kid, nice-sized kid. But
Peterson, Gaditz, Ian Byers. If he wants to play on the wing, I would assume Byers would get him, but down inside it'll have to be Gaditz or somebody like that. He'll be a load.
That might be a battle.
That'll be a very good game Friday night. 70-45 the score stays, 2:44 and ticking. Knocks away, stays with Christian. So they will lose their first after winning 4 straight and drop to 6-5. Herreid Selby. Staff has a good look at a 3. Short.
Thought that was going to be good.
It looked good. Yeah, he hit one the other night.
You know, I mentioned to you yesterday in our halftime talk at Warner that Christian, sometimes when they play the arena, there's not much of a student body and it's up to grandma and she's not very loud. But, you know, credit to the Christian student body tonight. They showed up with some kids and maybe they heard us.
Maybe they heard
making
you,
fun
Dave.
of grandma and came out to support tonight.
Will Stapp get another shot at it here?
He is going to.
They're trying to get him the ball on a play. Drives and dribbles, steps inside, uses glass, won't go. Ellis trying to get the rebound back to Caden
Here
Clark.
it comes again.
Feed it to Stapp, twisting inside and blocked and picked up by Herreid Selby. Well, we'll have one more crack at it, maybe twice. He's put in all the time, this kid. He's done all the work that all these other guys have gotten, right?
You bet.
And he deserves some shots here down the stretch. Abe Holscher as well, and he's in the ball game.
The guy who's going to set him up is our assist leader right here, except for Coach Rohrbach's going to call timeout and get him out. But say if there's a way to get anybody a bucket, give that ball to Caden Clark, and he will set you up.
He will.
If you're working hard, he'll get you a bucket.
So Abe Holscher will stay, and Stapp. Like to see those two get something in the books. Stapp drives baseline, goes reverse, no. 1:12 to go. So a host of Christian Knights score again.
You know, I heap a lot of praise on Caden. He really works hard and does the little things well, and that's what I love in a player. Plus, you know, he's sporting the best haircut on the team, and that says something.
You like that?
I love that.
Yeah, Caden's a good kid too. 70-45. So we'll pause, come back. Matthew will be with us here in probably 5 minutes or so. See what he has to say tonight. Well, you talk about these teams, Dave, with in the middle of the road, competitive but not top tier teams. This is one of the better ones I've seen.
I agree. Herreid Selby really, you know, the score doesn't show it, but they really made Christian work hard.
No shots required, and the clock will tick down. Our final's going to read Aberdeen Christian 70, Herreid Selby 45 here from the Civic Arena. They will leave 6-5 on the long bus ride home. The Knights, unanimously number 1, up their record at 12-0. All right, stay tuned. We'll pause and be right back with the head coach, Matthew Rohrbach, here from the Civic Arena on Hub City Radio. All right, back in the postgame, 70-45. Aberdeen Christian now 12-0 out of the locker room. Head coach Matthew Rohrbach. Hi, Coach.
Oh, yeah. How are you guys doing?
You got a voice?
No,
Got enough?
not at all. That was a weird game tonight. Weird on the sideline. I couldn't speak.
That's hard to coach when you can't speak.
Yeah.
Sign language tonight?
No, just relying on Coach Becker.
You got a week off now. Your thoughts on tonight? That I thought they were pretty physical with you.
Yeah, they were obviously a really good football team, having gone to the championship the last few years. They got some strong kids, and we knew that they would kind of throw some high-low options at us tonight. And I thought we did an okay job keeping the ball under the post, but that's going to be something we need to address a little bit. They did give us a little trouble down low tonight.
Do you know what the rebound number was?
I don't. I haven't got to check over the stats yet, but Joey Johnson was a beast tonight. So, we had challenged him as a coaching staff before the game, and he responded, and that's the kind of kid he is. I was super happy with his play tonight.
I got a couple questions for you, Matt, and not so much about tonight, but about just what's transpired this whole season and specifically the last 12 days. In 12 days, you played 7 games.
Yep.
You played 2 teams that beat this team in the state tournament last year, so you got that factor.
Yeah.
You've got an A team. You've got the number 1 team in the state in the biggest venue that there is in that Hanson Classic. You've played 5 games on the road. You've had maybe 3 practices in all that time and all that prep. What has the last 12 days been like for you and just the whole program in general in that? Because I mean it blows my mind. That 7 games, that's more than a third of your season, and so much has happened in those 12 days. Yeah,
we really just pride ourselves on taking it one day at a time. And what you see in this locker room is complete trust from coaching staff to players. Me and Coach Becker trust the players, and they trust us to put them in the right situations. And I think when you have fully trust on that, it really makes things easy, and we can kind of flow. We trust the kids to put in certain game plans for certain players, and they go out and execute it like we've seen these last few games. I actually love the road games. I loved the road games back when I played, and I love it even more as I coach, because I just feel like we feed off the other team's crowd and the other team's maybe hostility. And so these kids are a resilient bunch, and they're playing right now, in a humble way, but in a greedy way. Like, they think they're the best, but they know that they still have to come out and prove it, and I couldn't be more happy about that thought process.
That's cool. I got one more than however Rob wants to go. But, in this last period, I was down at that game Saturday night, and I was amazed at what you had to go through, just coaching that game and everything else, but post-game. I mean, you were thrown into an environment of TV cameras in your face, sports reporters in your face. Where are kids going to school? We're going to vote for you Monday morning as the number 1 team in the state. All of that. What was that like? What was that like? And I was thinking about that this weekend. That I'm wondering about. Last year you sat in. We covered some games together. Right. We had a talk and think at the same time, and he sat with Rob through some really big games and did that. Did that set you up a little bit for that environment, and just what was that like? I mean, for first year coach into the spotlight just like that. I mean, we want to talk to you. Give us an answer.
Yeah, it was definitely strange, and you can't really say you're definitely prepared for a situation like that. It definitely caught me off guard. I just remember thinking the whole time as they were talking to me, like, I just kept thinking of all the players. Like, I kept thinking of, like, Malik and Ethan and Brendan and Caden and Jackson and just how much they've sacrificed and what we talk about in the locker room before every game and we talk about in practice and what I hear the kids saying to each other in practice and on the floor and as friends. And just whenever they would ask me a question, I just immediately would see, like, a kid's face in my mind. And just what this whole program has been about and what these whole kids are about, and just the sacrifices that the sacrifices that Andrew Brennan and Caden Clark and Jackson Isaacson do on a nightly basis is just unreal. And you've seen that with some teams throughout the state who maybe just have so much talent and they just can't play as a team, or they can't get it done for whatever reason. And just these kids, they don't let any of it. They don't care. They don't care about the publicity. They don't care about scoring the points. And so the whole time when they're asking me questions, I just couldn't help but just think about these kids, and it made it so easy. I felt like I was literally just talking to Malik or Ethan or Caden or Andrew or Jackson. And so in terms of that, I actually thought it was kind of easy. But it definitely is new charter territory, and it's something that we want because we've been working towards this for such a long time as a program and as individuals.
That's cool. I love your answer because when we started this program, we built it on families and relationships and brotherhood, and I've always looked at you as like one of my kids, and you're friends with my kids, and it really is. These guys here have something they're going to have the rest of their life together, and they're never going to forget what happened on Saturday and those experiences, and I think they're going to have some more memories as the year goes on that are going to be amazing. At some point, we got to quit talking about Saturday. Well, I love your answer.
I love that family. I mean, it's so true. The family atmosphere is so true because it has been built on families. And, I mean, nothing's more prevalent than that than the 4 people that came into the locker room right after the game when we won.
Yep.
Your son, Sam Palmer, and then my brother, Andrew Rohrbach, and then Brent Econger and Jet Becker, who were part of the championship team.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, to make that drive down, a 5-hour round trip was just incredible and super fun. And all the fans that we have coming down supporting our guys for not even just this year, but for years and years since we've had this program back in, 2009, just outstanding, and it couldn't be more happy to be a part of everything that's gone on.
Well, good. I'm super proud of you. Rob, whatever you got.
I have. Do you need a lozenge? I have a whole bunch of them here.
The kids were all making fun of me before the game. I couldn't even hardly speak. Oh, hilarious.
A Luden's coffee. Well, tuck the Ferrari in the garage, and shine it up for another week. I mean, you need a rest.
We do.
You need a little break, and we'll see you again a week from tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yep. Big shout out to Jackson Isaacson as well. I didn't get to say his name, but he was tremendous tonight. If you watch that film back, you're going to see that kid all over the floor. Yeah. Whether he was trying to keep an offensive rebound or running down the floor to play defense, just an incredible game, and couldn't be more proud of that kid.
We brought that up last night. How he's just he's tweaked his game this year to do some different things. He's scoring in the paint just right and left, and it's been fun to watch.
I believe he had the first 2 points of the game on a post up with his left hand. Is that correct?
I think you're right.
Gosh,
it seems familiar. Yeah.
I love it. I love it when we can start a game in the paint, and not at the 3-point line. That makes it so easy.
How many threes, by the way, tonight? It's not like. It seems different. We're not living and dying by the threes.
No, we're
this year.
Joey Johnson's first quarter was element of that. He got us rolling, him and Jackson.
6 threes tonight. Now, years gone by, we looking at 10, 12, 13, 14.
Right.
That's a different team. You can still do it, but you don't have to.
Well, they set the record versus Herreid, Selby.
16 of them 3 years ago.
Yeah. So,
but I still think this team has that capability. But we just don't need it right now because we just find each other so well. Our guards have just been passing amazing inside.
All right, 12-0, and a week off, well deserved. We will see you again. Get some rest, and your voice will get better. Trust me.
Thank you guys. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Matt.
See you, Matt.
Thanks.
Take care.